But first tonight, that story that we've been focusing for the last 24 hours and more. Violence has engulfed several districts of Madhya Pradesh. I want to start tonight with 5 defining images of the farmer fury that is spreading across the state. Vehicles are being torched, trains have been blocked on the busy Mandsaur route. We are also finding railway tracks being damaged. Shops have been attacked in different parts. Farm products are being thrown on the ground as farmers, some say backed by politicians, have taken out their ire a day after 5 people were shot dead in alleged police firing. Now, what started off as protests demanding simply a better price for produce by farmers is now blowing up into a full-blown political conflict. Vehicles have been torched, stones are being pelted, violence on the streets. Not just in Mandsaur, where 5 farmers were killed yesterday, but also now in other parts of Madhya Pradesh, Devas, Ujjain and Ratlam. The Shivraj Singh Chauhan government is facing its biggest crisis as questions are being raised. Who fired on the farmers?
The anger boiling over. The state and the centre at the receiving end. Inconsolable families of farmers who were shot dead. Grief turned to anger. Anger grew into fury. Who killed 5 farmers in Mandsaur on Tuesday?
अगर शिवराज सिंह का आदेश नहीं था तो आज गोलियां क्यों नहीं चल रही है? कल तो उसने बोल दिया कि आज गोलियां नहीं चल रही है।
The livid farmers point an accusatory finger at the state apparatus.
दोनों तरफ से किसान खड़े हुए थे और कुछ पुलिस वाले खड़े होते। किसान वहां पे खड़े होते, पुलिस वालों ने पहले तो आंसू गैस के गोले छोड़े, उसके बाद फायर करे, डायरेक्ट फायर शूट करे छाती के ऊपर। पाँव पे फायर नहीं करा, किसी के पाँव पे फायर नहीं करा, सबके छाती के ऊपर फायर करे।
ये पुलिस वालों ने किया है, व्यापारियों ने मिलकर करा। व्यापारियों ने मिलकर करा, नहीं हिंसक व्यापारियों ने करवाया। 60 गार्ड ने, पुलिस ने उनके 7 गार्ड में था ये।
And the state witnessed this blowback in person when the Mandsaur collector reached the bereaved family's village to condole their loss. Turned away, pushed, heckled, almost set upon by the irate crowd. Breathless after his close shave, he reiterated the state government's innocence. Pipalia Mandi, where the farmers were shot dead, simmered. Prohibitory orders were rendered useless. Vehicles were torched in Devas and stones were pelted in the Chandukheri village in Ujjain. All that these farmers wanted was for their voice to be heard, and what they got instead were bullets. Violence has now engulfed Madhya Pradesh, and if this isn't Shivraj Singh Chauhan's biggest crisis, what is? With Hemendra Sharma in Mandsaur, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, right through the day, our correspondents Hemendra Sharma and Preeti Chaudhary have been on ground zero in Mandsaur and surrounding areas. They've been there amongst the farmers and the mobs. These are some of their eyewitness accounts.
All right, so this is what we are witnessing right now. This is the highway which connects Udaipur to Mandsaur. Trucks just lined up, completely torched, roads completely blocked. You can see the paramilitary force coming in because there are fresh cases that have been reported outside. We've been told not to cross a particular limit and stay here. You can see them taking out their equipment. The Vajra van is right up in front. That's what's leading this group. Basically, what the police and the administration is telling us now is the fact that this entire protest has been taken over by anti-social elements, and now they've decided to crack down under criticism that they have been given a free hand till now.
Well, the situation out here is really tense. People are annoyed that the Home Minister of the state gave such a ridiculous statement saying that it was not the farmers who shot them but someone from amongst them. I have with me farmers who are witnesses to that. आप बताइए किसने गोली चलाई थी और क्या हुआ था वहाँ पे?
सर वहाँ तो मैं मौजूद नहीं था, लेकिन जो बात सामने आई, हाँ मौजूद वहाँ पे सामने आई कि भाई पुलिस थाने के वहाँ पुलिस ने गोलियां चलाई।
आप तो वहाँ पे
मौजूद है, पुलिस वालों ने प्यार से बुला के और पीछे से गोली चलाई।
अच्छा, अभी आपकी क्या डिमांड है?
हमारी डिमांड ये मुख्यमंत्री यहाँ है और उन पुलिस वालों को सजा दे, उनको सस्पेंड करो।
So there you see there is a lot of anger over here. People are demanding that the Chief Minister should come to the spot and punish the guilty police officers who fired on these farmers, in which 5 farmers were killed.
My first guest tonight is Kamal Nath, senior Congress leader who perhaps could be the Congress's candidate for Chief Ministership in Madhya Pradesh when elections are held next year. He wants to respond to what's happened in Mandsaur. Kamal Nath, I appreciate your joining us. There are those who are now saying that the Congress, Mr. Nath, is fueling the violence for political objectives. There are elections in Madhya Pradesh a year from now, a little over a year from now, and leaders like yourself have decided that this is an opportunity to try and exploit farmer violence to target the Shivraj Singh Chauhan government. Do you deny the presence of Congress workers on the ground in Madhya Pradesh at the moment in the violence?
There's no question of that. Farmers are apolitical.
Yes.
Farmers are not associated with any political party. This has been the pent-up fury, pent-up anger, pent-up agony which they are giving vent to, whether it's Madhya Pradesh or Maharashtra. Because what the farmers have, the stress they've been through for the last several years is now coming to the fore. There's no question of inciting any farmer. The farmers themselves have collectively acted, and 6 farmers have been killed in brutal police firing.
But the fact is, while yes, there has been police firing, we have shots of buses being burned, we have seen workers going and forcibly shutting down shops. Now many are saying these are not farmers but Congress workers. These are anti-social elements, and there are also Congress workers. One of your leaders is accused also of being one of those who's fueling the violence, your Indore MLA. How do you respond to this, that the Congress has got involved in the violence?
You cannot fuel any violence. We must understand the farmers' agitation has been going on for several days, and it's been going on, it is over the last several months, several years, where the farmer has been humiliated in Madhya Pradesh as in no other state in the country. The number of farmers who have gone to jail, who have gone to thanas, issues of electricity bills, issues of fertilizer, issues of seed, issue of the minimum support price, these are a collective outburst of the farming community. It's not that the farmers are not congressmen, that we can incite them. I think you are undermining and really insulting the farmers by saying that they are being incited.
At the same time, Mr. Kamal Nath, the fact is that Madhya Pradesh has seen double-digit growth in agriculture in the last decade, and many say that this is Shivraj Singh Chauhan's great achievement. So I want to know what has suddenly turned for the farmers to believe that the government has no space for them. Till the other day, Madhya Pradesh was being held up as a model state for agriculture.
Well, you should ask the farmers why they are going on the streets. It's the pent-up fury and all these double-digit and triple-digit figures which are being flaunted by the Chief Minister. Why are the farmers doing this? If there's been double-digit growth, why are the farmers, if there's no distress, why are the farmers doing it? It's not just in Mandsaur, it's all over the state. And I toured the state, I know what the ground situation is. And it is a typical BJP response that this is being incited. Anything which happens is being incited by the Congress or being incited by opposition parties. This is again to befool the people. But I think the time is up. Nobody is going to be befooled. The farmers, after all, there is farmers' families. There are youth who are on social media. Today, a farmer is not what a farmer was 30 years ago. Today, a farmer is knowledgeable. He is connected. His family is on social media and they know what's happening. So nobody has to tell them anything. They know the realities. And it is this reality, it is this distress which is an outburst today.
You know, Mr. Kamalnath, we are now told that Rahul Gandhi wants to go to Mandsaur tomorrow. He's being denied permission by the local authorities because the Madhya Pradesh government is saying the Congress will go there and only create more trouble and play politics over the dead bodies of farmers instead of allowing the situation to in some way be brought under control. How do you respond to the fact that you're not going to be allowed now to go to Mandsaur?
Where is the politics? Is the BJP which is playing politics? They are bidding. First, with the 6 people who died, it was 5 lakhs rupees compensation, then 10 lakhs, then 1 crore.
Yeah.
This bids over dead bodies is unheard of. And Rahul Gandhi is going. I am also going. I am also going with Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And we want to share this grief of the farmers. There's not a question of inciting. The agitation is on. The agitation is on in Maharashtra. Tomorrow you will say that we are
Mr. Nath,
inciting them.
No, Mr. Nath, the government is saying, I'm not saying you are inciting violence. This is the charge being made by the government and they are saying they will not let you enter Mandsaur tomorrow.
Well, if they do that, well, we'll address the issue there and then. But we are going merely to express and share the grief of the farmers who've been killed, to express solidarity with the farming community. If we don't do it, who will?
I'm going to leave it there, Kamalnath. I appreciate your joining us. Clearly, the Congress is seeing an opportunity in the farmer distress in Madhya Pradesh. Let me go straight across to Preeti Chaudhary, who's joining me on that dark night there in Mandsaur. Preeti, you've been reporting from Ground Zero Mandsaur. Has the situation been brought under some kind of control now? The images we've seen through the day of buses being torched, shops being shut down. What is the situation at the moment where you are?
I'm in the heart of Mandsaur, Rajdeep, and there is a semblance of normalcy. However, this is the main town, and this is where the curfew has been imposed. In the evening, you know, we've seen a few people go about, but the actual problem is on the outskirts. So the entire day, Rajdeep, let's just take a look at the kind of arson, the kind of vandalism that we have seen. Just in Mandsaur itself, 4 banks have been burnt. A petrol pump has been burnt as well. So things nowhere near normal. What we are expecting tomorrow is more violence, especially we spoke to the DIG a short while back. We also spoke to the collector who was actually heckled in the morning. And they've told us that now they have the other security forces. They have 4 companies of the CRPF, 2 of the Rapid Action Force, and they are hoping to bring things under control. But the question beckons, Rajdeep, that why was it that what seemed to us, now on 2 occasions I personally have seen the Rapid Action Force retreat in the face of abject arson. What seems on ground is that in the beginning, at least to the course of the day, because of what happened yesterday, the government was on a back foot. So somewhere down the line, a free hand was given to the farmers to what they said was to vent out their ire. When things got out of hand, when a bank was burnt, when a bus was targeted full of civilians, that was when the government figured out that things are getting out of hand, and then the crackdown began, which only happened, Rajdeep, post 7 p.m. today evening.
You know, what I want to understand is that is it now very clear that the police was responsible for the firing? Till yesterday, the Madhya Pradesh government was suggesting that the police was not behind it. Now we are told that it's very clear that the police fired yesterday, and I'm told a post-mortem on the dead farmers only was done after midnight. Why isn't the details of that post-mortem being brought before the public? Is the Madhya Pradesh government therefore now clearly on the back foot because 5 farmers were killed by the police?
Very interesting point that you raised, Rajdeep. Let's look at it. When was the post-mortem conducted? In the middle of the night at 12. So what was the urgency to conduct that post-mortem? All right, you've conducted a post-mortem. Why not give out details? Did those farmers actually die of gunshot wounds? Then where goes your theory that we never gave the police orders? So with what we are picking up here is clearly that it was the police that fired. It wasn't the CRPF, the theory that was being circulated yesterday. On the other hand, now in the morning we are being told, there's a press conference by the collector, by the DIG. Both of them went ahead and said that we cannot comment on anything. It's under judicial, there's a probe, which is a judicial probe has been launched. So we can't commit to anything.
Right.
So no information on what exactly was the post-mortem. Did these farmers die of gunshots? Also, Rajdeep, a point that needs to be made. When has ever in the history a farmer been given a compensation because he's died of 1 crore rupees? Clearly the government is on a back foot. They don't know what happened yesterday. Something went awry and they're trying to make amends, and that is the result of the arson today.
Preeti Chaudhary joining us from Ground Zero. Stay safe. Thanks very much for all those updates that you're giving us at the moment. Let me raise some big questions, because those are troubling images for the Bharatiya Janata Party in a week where it's celebrating 3 years of the Modi government, or just after the 3-year celebration. Is farmer fury the BJP's biggest challenge so far? Are Madhya Pradesh's farmers now trapped in the political crossfire? Who is really behind the firing on farmers? Is the Congress fueling farmer protests? Why did the Chief Minister hold talks with only the RSS wing of the farmers at the moment? And have loan waivers now become a big issue confronting the BJP across the country? Sambit Patra, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Pawan Khera, spokesperson of the Congress, joining me with Yogendra Yadav, founder Swaraj Abhiyan. Sambit Patra, are you willing to concede that this is now your biggest challenge at the moment? The fact is, those images that are being played out clearly show farmer fury. You can't blame it all on the Congress. Clearly there is anger. The Congress may well have played a role in inciting it at one level, but the original protest started with farmers. And that is an indictment of the Madhya Pradesh government, which claims to be pro-farmer, and Narendra Modi, who claims that in 3 years he's transforming rural India.
Rajdeep, first and foremost, we have to agree to the fact that as far as the track record of Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, is concerned, particularly in respect to the agrarian sector and the agricultural GDP, that has been impeccable. We know of the fact, and it's not that the Bharatiya Janata Party government in the center released these data. In fact, in the yesteryears as well, when the UPA dispensation was in power, the impeccable track record was that the agri GDP of Madhya Pradesh was as high as 25%, 20% to 25%. And in fact, the Madhya Pradesh government has been awarded by the UPA dispensation in the yesteryears also. But well, yes, there is a problem on the ground. We have to deal with the problem. We have to see whether there was a conspiracy or not. And why do we say there might be a conspiracy? We say there might be a conspiracy because, look, as far as the demands of the farmers,
no, are you saying that the farmers are Congress workers? Are you saying those who have come out on the street been fired upon are Congress workers? When you use the word conspiracy, you've got to be very careful. You're using the word conspiracy almost to suggest that the farmers are Congress workers.
No, I'm being extremely careful. Not at all. Why should the farmers be Congress workers? And you would agree with me that the farmers, in fact, of this country are the most decent beings. They would never torch buses. They would never harm the innocents. Annadata would never do this. And the farmers of this country have never done this.
There have been violent protests by farmers.
Have been met with.
Something has gone wrong. They are angry.
Exactly, and that is exactly when you call something has gone wrong, despite the fact that all the points that the farmers had demanded, they have been fulfilled. So naturally that something, you call something, I call it conspiracy. There is probably, because only in a single day, on 1st of June, they started this agitation. On 7th of June, in fact, the demands by the farmers, 11 in total, 8 were met with. But despite that, what went wrong in few hours, that in fact there was a lot of violence on the street. Suddenly we saw arsenals all across. Suddenly we saw the fire and the kind of violence that we see in the street. And that is the reason as to why what you call, Rajdeep, as something, I firmly believe that we really have to decipher that something to show that whether there is some kind of foul play or not. I am not alleging anything against any individual person. But twice.
You have used the word conspiracy twice.
I was in the Aaj Tak debate, in fact, today at 6 p.m. and you would be astonished to know that the Aaj Tak itself showed that some of the MLAs of the Congress party, one Mr. Jeetu Patwari, because that was shown by the Aaj Tak. In fact, Mr. Jeetu Patwari was conspiring. Mr. Jeetu Patwari was conspiring, and that was in your own channel.
No, that is an allegation. That is an allegation which is being made.
I am not alleging.
That is an allegation.
That
is an allegation. Pawan Khera respond to what you're hearing. That's a very serious charge that is being made.
When
no, 1 minute, Mr. Patra.
The group itself had made those allegations.
No, 1 minute. A policeman on the ground has made that allegation that Jitu Patwari, an Indore MLA of the Congress, was involved in the violence. Pawan Kheda, please respond to that.
Rajdeep, by saying that this was a part of a conspiracy, the BJP is showing the lack of commitment it has to the agrarian sector. These issues do not interest them at all because they don't polarize the society. They are very good at certain things. They are not good at certain other things. BJP is very comfortable when they talk about communal issues, intercaste rivalries, and food eating habits and so on and so forth. When it comes to farmers, they find themselves very uncomfortable dealing with the situation because they are not good at all this. Therefore, the accusations of conspiracy. Definitely the Congress will stand with the farmers. Definitely, yes. Rahul Gandhi has been talking about the farmers even before the Prime Minister learned to spell farmers. And finally, the Prime Minister was forced to talk about farmers. 3 years, Rahul Gandhi kept reminding the Prime Minister of farmers. Guess what did the Union Agriculture Minister say on the floor of the House in July? The farmers' suicides, he said, are because of failed love affairs, impotency and barrenness and so on and so forth. Now, this is the kind of understanding they have about farming issues. Now, if the farmers can go and commit suicide, that's also violence against themselves. They can't come on the road and express their anger.
No, but
who instigated them when they were committing suicide?
Are you saying no Congress? You're saying no Congress workers are involved.
Committing suicides?
You're saying no Congress workers have been on the street in Madhya Pradesh.
I am sorry. No Congress worker would instigate or would be required to instigate. A farmer of this country is angry. What happened to the Swaminathan Commission report? Why haven't they accepted it? Why haven't they implemented it? The Prime Minister had promised it in 2014.
Sambit Patra, it's very easy today. It's very easy to pass the buck. It's very easy to pass the buck on the Congress. The fact is, law and order is a state subject. The fact is, it's the Shivraj Singh Chauhan government that has to deal with law and order. The fact is, policemen fired on the farmers. The post-mortem was held after midnight because there was a need to cover it up. It's time that you accepted certain facts, Sambit Patra. You've got to accept these facts also.
Rajdeep, you are absolutely state subject, but let me state you certain facts. The facts is, as far as the agricultural history of the Shivraj Singh Chauhan government is concerned, you would be astonished to know, and these are facts by the UPA government itself, that the irrigation ratio was increased by 35% in the last 10 years. The fertilizer consumption per hectare increased by 55% in 10 years. Tractor sale increased by 200%.
That is in the past.
SRR has been substantially increased. Naturally, no. In the past, and this continues till the present. In fact, the impeccable food produced this year has been quite high.
But
the question today is, well, yes, if there are certain issues, why should Mr. Rahul Gandhi feed himself upon a tragedy and should make a tourism and try to find some kind of opportunity in a tragedy? Please, all of you should call and assemble together to say that we stand together, we don't want violence. And Rajdeep, with all due request, please, if you would allow me.
No, this is the problem with the BJP spokesperson. They need to move from one channel to the other. I'll let you go because frankly the BJP, I believe, should be treating the farmers. It shows a lack. Sambit Patra, the BJP should focus on farmer issues, please. I understand you have to go to another channel. I'll let you go. I'll let you go. Pawan Kheda, respond to the point that you all are playing politics over dead bodies of farmers. Let's finish that and then I'll go to Yogendra Yadav for the larger perspective. Please go ahead, Pawan Kheda.
They keep quoting that the UPA rewarded, the UPA awarded Shivraj Chauhan for the irrigation the data.
Yes.
Absolutely wrong. Yes, the UPA awarded him, there's no doubt about that. But then we later found out, the fact-finding team found out that entire irrigation data fudging is a huge scam Shivraj Singh government has entered into. It's such a terrible scam. It is never, data scam has never happened at this scale in Madhya Pradesh, the way they have played with these figures. And then they talk about Rahul Gandhi going there as a tourist. When Mahesh Sharma can go to attend the funeral of Ravi Sisodia, the killer of Akhlaq, what was that? What was that? Rahul Gandhi has every day, every minute of the day, he has shown his commitment to the cause of the farmers. He is the one responsible for the loan waiver that UPA got. And I'm sure, I agree with you, the loan waiver is not in itself a solution, but it's at least one step closer to solving an issue or to at least addressing some part of it.
Can I move away?
What has this government done? to show any commitment to the cause of the farmers.
Can I move away from the political
12% is the slab in which fertilizers have been kept, Rajdeep. 12% in GST is the slab in which fertilizers have been kept, and 5% is for gold biscuits. This is the commitment.
Can I move to Yogendra Yadav away from this tu-tu meme? Yogendra Yadav, as the founder Swaraj Abhiyan, your party has taken up the issue of farmers in a sense as one of your core issues, if not the core issue. Are you surprised with the images that we are seeing out of Madhya Pradesh? Is this agitation being taken over by anti-social elements, or do you believe there is genuine farmer anger? And what is causing it? Is it simply a demand for greater minimum support price at a time of a bumper harvest? What is it that is fueling this fury?
Rajdeep, unfortunately, it takes nothing short of killings of farmer for the nation to begin to address, for the nation to begin to even notice the plight of the farmers. And given the nature of this tragedy, I think the least that we owe to these farmers who've lost their lives is that we begin to address the real issues, that we do not keep ourselves confined only to the limited issues of this one instance. If someone has incited violence, by all means, catch him, expose him, punish him, be done with it. To my mind, such a rapid expansion of farmers' movement, protest from Maharashtra. Remember, Madhya Pradesh is actually a secondary state. It began in Maharashtra. It spread like wildfire from one district to the other, spread to the nearby districts of Madhya Pradesh. That's how it came to Madhya Pradesh. To my mind, such things do not happen by one political party. And if Congress had this kind of strength in Madhya Pradesh, they would have done much better in the elections in Madhya Pradesh. I don't think it's that. I think the real problem is there is something really substantial and big, something fundamentally wrong with the nature of agriculture. We need to remember that this is not a drought year. This was actually a plentiful year. This is a year of bountiful harvest. And Madhya Pradesh, as rightly pointed out, has been something of a success story of Indian agriculture for the last 5-6 years. If this is happening in Madhya Pradesh, then we really need to think. And to my mind, the heart of the problem is this, that so much of our policy focus in agriculture is on production, not on producer. The entire focus is on the fiscal health of the governments, not on the fiscal health of the farmer. The simple elementary fact is that farming is becoming an unviable occupation. Farming is a loss-making proposition. Farmers do not have income, do not have let alone assured income. And this is what drives them to desperation. And this desperation takes...
But these are not small and marginal farmers. Yogendra Yadav ji, these are not small and marginal farmers. Many of these are cash crop farmers. These are not small and marginal farmers. So if they are coming on the street, it means the problem is even greater than we imagined.
Yes, Rajdeep. In fact, that's the point. Yes, so this is not a drought year, this is not the poorest, the worst state, and these are not the poorest farmers. This actually shows you the real extent of the problem right now. There is a structural, fundamental crisis of agriculture, there is an ecological crisis, there is an economic crisis. Farmers do not have anything to sustain themselves, and this is why this takes these eruptions. And the one point Mr. Samit Patra forgot to mention, and we must underline, the farmers are simply reminding the Modi government of the promise that it made. It was not a casual promise. The promise was that farmers will get prices which are 50% above the cost. This is a promise in black and white for the National Manifesto, a promise that was repeated across all the states in BJP state manifestos, a promise that the BJP has completely forgotten. Farmers have to remind this government of this elementary promise. And Rajdeep, unless we begin to discuss this real question of farmers' income, which is to say lack of income, and think of ways of assured income for farmers, then I'm afraid this kind of a tragedy may recur again and again.
Let me leave it there, because these are troubling questions that we will continue to focus on tomorrow night. I'll be joined by Magsaysay Award winner P. Sainath in my continuing focus on what is ailing the agriculture sector in this country. Pawan Khera, earlier Samit Patra, Yogendra Yadav, appreciate your joining me on my program tonight. It's not just Madhya Pradesh, because farmer protests have spread in Maharashtra. In fact, that's where they started a week ago. And today the ruling BJP's ally Shiv Sena openly broke ranks to join the Congress in calling for a hartal in Sangli in western Maharashtra. The Sena also boycotted a cabinet meet, leading to speculation that the party is slowly withdrawing from the Devendra Fadnavis government unless it accepts the farmers' demand for a loan waiver.
Protesting farmers lathi charged. 7 days into the farmers' protest in Maharashtra, the stir has only intensified.
Right now I'm standing in Nasik, a vegetable market, and you can see this is not a normal scene over here. This market is always flooded by people, by the traders and by the farmers, because this is one of the main and center market in Nasik. But you can see now it's totally empty. No farmers, no traders over here.
As protests demanding complete loan waiver rage, another debt-ridden farmer committed suicide.
इसका कर्जा है, उसका कर्जा है, ये है, वो है, ऐसे ही बताते रहते थे, चिड़चिड़ कर रहे थे वो, कुछ भी बता नहीं रहे थे घर को.
Politics is heating up over farmer suicides. The BJP's ally Shiv Sena boycotted a cabinet meeting and joined hands with the Congress to call a shutdown in Chandrapur.
जब ये कर्जा माफी का मुद्दा हम साथ में बैठ के सुलझाना चाहिए, यही हमने आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री साहब को मंत्रिमंडल बैठक के पहले मिलके बताया और हम आज मंत्रिमंडल के बैठक में दाखिल नहीं हुए.
अब बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि मंत्रिमंडल में हम साथ साथ कहा जाता, बाहर जाने के बाद हम आपके हैं कौन जब कहा जाता, तो हमें भी बड़ा आश्चर्य होता है.
The ongoing farmers' strike took a major political turn on Wednesday as all Shiv Sena ministers boycotted the weekly cabinet meeting. Shiv Sena, that has been supporting the farmers' strike since day one, has alleged that the chief minister did not take the party into confidence before making the announcement on farmers' loan waiver.
Meanwhile, actor Nana Patekar, known for his active work with farmers, appealed for a quick resolution.
मतलब देखो, जो लगातार अपना जो भुगतान है वो कर रहे हैं, तो उनको तो करने की जरूरत, लेकिन जो है ही नहीं, जिनके औकात ही नहीं, उनके बारे में वो सरकार शायद बोल रही होगी, लेकिन जो रास्त है, जो जरूरी है, जिनको देना है, तो उनको तो देना ही पड़ेगा.
The state government's promise of a loan waiver to marginal farmers has not placated the protesters. With farmers upping the ante in 3 BJP-ruled states, is the Modi government facing its biggest challenge so far? With Mayuresh, Shivangi and Kamlesh Sutar in Mumbai. Bureau Report, India Today.
Is the Shiv Sena BJP relationship now reaching breaking point over the farmers' agitation after the party walked out of a cabinet meeting today? Joining me now, Kamlesh Sutar. Kamlesh, are we to understand that that already troubled relationship between the Shiv Sena and the ruling BJP is now reaching breaking point in Maharashtra over the farmers' agitation? The Shiv Sena now deciding to join hands with the Congress, we are told, to support the farmers.
Well, indeed, Rajiv, it's not only the Shiv Sena, the main ally of the BJP in power in Maharashtra, that has joined the farmers' stir. Swabhimani Shetkari Sangatna, another ally of the BJP, has also been an active part of the ongoing agitations. Both the parties, for the BJP and Shiv Sena, both are testing waters, whether they could survive without the alliance, and for the Shiv Sena, whether it can survive without power. There have been speculations in the power corridors of Maharashtra that there could be possibly mid-term polls in Maharashtra, and that perhaps is being speculated close to November, and that is why the Shiv Sena feels that the CM has made an announcement of bringing in the loan waiver just close to that is in October. The Shiv Sena feels that it should not let go this opportunity of taking credit of the farmer loan waiver, and that is why the Shiv Sena is not very happy the way Devendra Fadnavis single-handedly announced the entire farmers package without taking the Shiv Sena, or rather Uddhav Thackeray, into confidence. So they've raised this issue, saying that the way Shiv Sena was taken into confidence while GST, they have not been taken into confidence here. So the Shiv Sena surely trying to exert pressure on the BJP, and this could just be the beginning. We might in next few days see more political action that could perhaps lead to one of the biggest news of the year.
That's right. Well, one of the stories doing the rounds at the moment, the speculation is a possible breakup in that alliance in Maharashtra, and the BJP maybe even considering a mid-term election at the moment in the state. Kamlesh Sutar joining me there from Mumbai. Thanks very much. This is, of course, coming on the backdrop of growing turmoil in West Asia and the Middle East, because after Saudi Arabia, 4 other nations snapping all ties with Qatar over its alleged support to the Muslim Brotherhood and growing proximity to Tehran. CNN now reporting, quoting sources, revealing that Russian hackers have breached Qatar's state news agency, planting a fake report that led to the crisis. The FBI has sent a team of investigators to Doha to help the Qatar government investigate the alleged hacking. Clearly at the moment, it is Qatar which is at the heart of the turmoil in West Asia and the Middle East. And this is what Donald Trump has also said, adding in a sense to the fuel over the fire in the region. I'm joined by Dr. Wail Awad, senior journalist at the moment, to understand what's happening. It seems, Wail Awad, that the area is imploding. We've had this attack on Iran. We've had the manner in which Qatar is being isolated by its neighbors. What do you make out of it? Is this now various cleavages that are coming out, Shia, Sunni, various terror groups that are operating based on different ideologies? What exactly is happening?
Well, actually, it is the culmination of the visit of President Donald Trump into the region, where he wanted to forge and analyze the new NATO, Arab Islamic Jihadist Sunni NATOs, against the Iranian bloc, where he considered the resistant bloc of Iran, Iraq, Syria, Hezbollah and Hamas as part of the resistance to the American hegemony in the region. So when the United States President goes there and he gives the green signal to the monarch of Saudi Arabia, they have immediately, the effect was immediate, where they have also intensified the fight on Bahrain opposition. They intensified the bombing of Yemen. Again, then they have cut the relation with Qatar, because Qatar is one of the main supporter of the Muslim Brotherhood organization, starting with the Arab Spring regime till date, and the Saudi of course support the other radical terrorist element in the region.
What are the implications for India of the turmoil which is taking place in the region? The Prime Minister incidentally goes to Israel and Palestine early next month. What are the wider implications of what we are seeing, this implosion of Islamic radicalism in the region at the moment?
At the moment, I don't see any immediate effect on the Indian. You know, remember, there are 8 million Indian in the Gulf with $73 billion annually revenue to India. And these are among the largest group of expats living in the Gulf. I think the presence of 3 basic military bases for the United States, one of it is the second largest in the region, is in Qatar, makes it very difficult for any kind of instability, because the US says that the security of the Gulf is the national security of the United States. So that Theresa May said it when she was there and met with the GCC leaders. So I don't see any kind of a breakthrough in the war, except that allowing the Saudis maybe to change the families of the ruling family in Qatar by force, but with a limited force within the palaces of this country. At the moment, I don't see any immediate danger. The danger lies, you know, that this is an area of the 65% of the global oil and energy is already in this kind of the world. So India, energy security is a prime importance. So is the geopolitical proximity with the region makes India one of the main player in this region. And I think India rightly is concerned about the development there.
Wail Awad, thanks very much for joining us on a story that we'll continue to track the implications of what's happening at the moment in West Asia and the Middle East. Thanks very much. Only in India's segment. Now, India is a land of, many say, blind faith, but particularly when it comes to religious beliefs, all kinds of people emerge in this country. Now, a self-proclaimed godman in Telangana has gone ahead and dug up the national highway near Hyderabad in a hope to find a Shiva Ling. Take a look at this report, which we as always call Only in India.
Do not mistake this for road repair or underground project. Digging machines punching a giant hole on a busy highway in Telangana. On a mission to execute a dream vision, literally. A dream vision of a local godman. Yes, you heard it right. This huge pit on a national highway is no state project. Villagers have brought in earth diggers here at the beck and call of their godman Lakhan Manoj. This after the godman claimed to have had a vision. A Shiva idol buried under where now runs this traffic.
రెండోది ఏంటంటే అది చాలా కాశీకైనా వందింతలు పవర్ఫుల్ అయినది. ఓం నమః శివాయ వందింతలు పవర్ఫుల్ అయినది. అక్కడ ఖచ్చితంగా శివలింగం ఉన్నది.
Driven by passion, hundreds of villagers from Pembarti village followed him to this location. In no time, they had this ditch carved out of the highway. All this in quest for the idol Lakhan Manoj had dreamt of. The godman and the village sarpanch finally detained, but not before they had commissioned a 15-foot deep and 10 feet wide hole on what we call a national highway. Bureau Report, India Today.
As I said, this could only happen in this wonderful country called India. Well, just days ahead of Yoga Divas on 21st June, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath was seen sharing a stage with renowned yoga guru Baba Ramdev, mirroring some of his famous yoga moves. As both Yogi and Ramdev indulged in friendly banter, more than 1,000 yoga enthusiasts attended it. I have to say, this could also happen only in India. Good night. Goodbye.
शायद